We're back in Philippines Uncut, and we're continuing our dialogue on cultural diversity and development. We were discussing Malu's new play on the child warrior and this global appeal to end armed conflict, because we can never cut poverty unless we really achieve a culture of peace and sustainable development. And because of this dialogue, just to tell you how important it is, this is from the Director General herself of UNESCO on her message, and I'm quoting, "Celebrating cultural diversity means opening up new perspectives for sustainable development and promoting creative industries and cultural entrepreneurship as sources of millions of jobs worldwide, particularly for young women and especially for women." We will get back with Malu so she can entice you to listen to this very dramatic play, which will be a very good revelation of the situation in Mindanao. And she'll give you a briefer or a short, very short summary so that you'll join us Monday night all throughout the week for this perspective on the plight of child warriors. Malu.
Yeah. Okay, ang title ay Batang Mujahideen. And now, Radyo Balintotoo will be showing the radio play in several days,
yeah.
right?
Radyo Nobela na
Right,
ngayon.
right. But it's really a stage play. Mm-hmm. And when I was writing it, I wanted to write a musical play that would put in Sinakulo, put in the Moro-Moro, the Kundiman, within the framework of a Brechtian Forum Theater. And so that was the idea I was working on. And then I said, why not focus on a child? And then I said, why not a girl child? And then when I read an article on a girl child in Afghanistan who was passed off as a boy to be able to get an education, I said, okay, why not a girl child who is taken by the Abu Sayyaf and turned into
a child warrior.
Yes, right. I'm very high indebted to the books, to the 10 books that I read, including Maria Resa's books, 2 books, and the book of Joel Torres, Into the Mountains. And so the backdrop of the play is the year 2000, when the Abu Sayyaf raided the St. Claret's School and got teachers, pupils, the principal, and the parish priest. Yun, totoong nangyari yun. And with that as the backdrop, because I wanted to do a play on the tribe people in the Philippines and their oppression and the way they feel as second-class citizens, I kind of created a Yakan child. Okay, Yakans now are either Muslim Yakan or Christian Yakan, and so this child is from the Muslim Yakan, and she becomes witness to the killing of her father. And she really felt so strongly about this killing that she could not speak for a while after witnessing it, the very violent killing of the father. And because of what happened to her, her case was really interesting for the Abu Sayyaf. And so she was summoned. And of course, when they saw, oh, but she's a girl, how can you? But they said, okay, why not, pretend? Yes, right. Yeah. And so she was given a new name, meaning the chosen one.
And she was trained.
Yes, she was trained with many other children. And so there's an interaction among the children, and then the children in a refugee camp down. And then slowly, she sees, no, all this, different points of view, no, the Muslim point of view, the Christian point of view from the priest and the principal. And then there are subplots that come in. No? The Janjalani is a real character,
Yeah.
but he is a composite character there. The two brothers, one a romantic and the other an intellectual who trained in Saudi, etc., and all that. And the priest, which is also patterned after a real priest, and the commander, the paramilitary who killed the father of the child. And so you see here how children, you know, evolve into future child
Soldiers.
warriors, yes. Because they want vengeance. And so yung parang tema na between a Moro and a Christian is a river of hate. And by focusing on that and the plight of our IP, indigenous peoples, the Lumad, and the plight of the Muslims, what we're trying to convey is we should do something about this feeling of them being second-class citizens, this feeling of oppression. Because if we don't do anything about it now, then the young people will be
grow up,
forced, they will be forced to join the world jihad.
Yeah.
And we will have a bigger problem in our
Well,
hands.
that's going to be terrorism, but we're trying to say that arts can really be a tool for peace. And
Yes, right.
this, we're in fact launching with this play here in the Philippines our partnership with the global peace movement, not by force but by art. But not just by art, because we're including in our dialogue similar pattern of concern for children. And this is being undertaken through sports. And but sports that's connected really in a sense with arts. First of all, for gender equity, besides an outstanding woman, we also have an outstanding man coach with us. And but interestingly, Ernie Nieras is related to the famous dancer choreographer Douglas Nieras. Kanya masasabi nyo may kapatiran talaga ho dito itong kambal na usapan tungkol sa sining at saka sa sports dahil kakaiba rin ang, or in a sense, it's a common vision of using naman sports as a human resource development instrument. And when we talk with Ernie, malalaman ninyo kung paano rin napapabago ang, let's say, katayuan ng isang tao. This poverty problem, no, is really because, as you said, second-class citizen. In the current terminology, even in economy, it's exclusion. And what we want is inclusive growth, but honest inclusive growth. And a catalyst can really be arts and sports in the womb of cultural diversity. So, having heard Malu's, well, very enticing summary, pakinggan po ninyo dahil talagang you'll be kept wanting to hear the next episode. We'll talk now with Ernie how they are able to transform kids from fisher folk families. Ernie, you tell this story because it's very, very dramatic how sports has been able to develop young kids and provide them with, well, employment in a sense. Ernie.
Well, a lot of people don't know because we're a basketball country that football is actually a billion-dollar industry. So it provides so much direct and indirect employment. And since 2010, with the rise of the men's national team, our Ascals, and the women's national team, the Malditas, now we've been able to introduce sports in a very positive way. One is by improving the way of life of our people. Okay, it does not matter, the nice thing about sports, it doesn't discriminate between religion, social status, or even your economic capabilities in life. We have, in our case, we've been able to reach out to war-stricken areas in Mindanao. We've been able to help the children of the Muslims and even the armed forces children to be able to play together. As a matter of fact, the Philippine Football Federation has an outreach program, and it's called Football for Peace.
Yeah.
And we've been able to give out footballs to a lot of these provinces all over Visayas and Mindanao to help introduce the sport. And through sports, we were able to bridge the gap of religion.
Yeah, this is
Beautiful.
a wonderful,
Yeah.
let's say, paradigm, no? Because this is exactly what we're doing with arts. And it should really be arts and sports, including media, ICT. And your team that was built really is from Iloilo.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we should name this very progressive young team, and we'll also be talking with the president of the football team in Iloilo,
Yes.
Ed Robles. But this is a wonderful twinning of initiatives that it's the 50th anniversary also of the International Theater Institute here in the Philippines. And in fact, we'll be working out a number of programs really promoting cultural caregiving to vulnerable groups and how it can really transform them. Malu, after hearing the work sphere of Ernie Nieras and sila Ed Robles and their team, what would you like to say?
Yeah. Napakaganda yung sinabi niya na ang sports like yung mga Muslim and then the Christians and then the indigenous peoples. No? It reminds me of what we do in the arts. Yung nag-umpisa as Artists for Crisis and it now has evolved. Na doon naman ay mga modules, no, na mga artist na gustong gamitin ang arts, no, sa healing, created their own modules, in music, in dance, in
All disciplines
theater, yeah,
of the arts.
yes, right.
In fact, we do it as interdisciplinary. Gardi Labad hosted in Bohol
Yes,
UNESCO
right.
Healing Arts Workshop. Not just for the earthquake victims, but also the Yolanda victims.
Right.
And we had connectivity with Asian countries. Kasi dito talaga, we're the center of disaster in the region. Kanya, we really have to underscore the value of arts and sports for resiliency, for
That's
healing,
right.
and for development.
Can you imagine if the Muslim artist would go to a Christian community that is a victim maybe of a natural disaster?
Yes.
Yeah, which they did already.
Yes,
which
and
we were
yes,
doing.
right, and vice versa, no?
Yes.
Yes. So they will widen, no, their perspective, and at the same time, the communities can really appreciate the lumad artist or the more
Interaction
artists that-
talaga, participation, and that's the key for building the community spirit.
And now you're saying that the same is being done in
The-
sports, and
yes.
that's really wonderful to know.
Yeah, especially for the children. What we always say is, if you put a ball in the middle of the field and take out the adults, pampagulo lang tayong matatanda. The children will play. It doesn't matter what.
That's
They will
true.
not even ask each other, where are you from? What's your province? What's your religion? They won't.
That's
They
true.
have a common
Connected
language
tayo.
right away.
Right,
Right away.
right.
So, time passes so easily. So, I hope that this has teased you into the whole realm of connectivity, transformation, human rights, education via arts and sports. Really the womb for cultural diversity. Stay with us because we'll be focusing also more on the methodology of the football. But don't forget, listen to Ang Batang Mujahideen by Malu Jacob. That will be on DZRH Radio Balintataw starting Monday through Friday. We'll be back with Philippines Uncut.